Welcome to Beauty Way Thunder's Bird's Eye View News. I'm Laurel Kitten, and I'm the carrier of the Children's Eternal Peace Flame, also known as the Rainbow Sun Flame, caught from our great central sun through a quartz crystal into our flame by Truth I Manifest on December 31st, 2013. So this flame's been burning continuously for over 7 years. To know more about the Children's Eternal Peace Flame or Beauty Way art, which we'll be speaking about tonight, which I have some art here behind me. Tonight's topic will be on death, but to know more about the art or the flame, you can go to my website at beautywaythunder.com and take a peek. All right, so welcome. So I invite us into a deep, holy breath, fully arriving in this precious moment that we have together for a few minutes. And I wanted to bring an offering, and what I was planning on bringing will be for another moment. I've been meditating a bit on the death gate since my kitty cat Moshi has not returned since last night, and I'm in a very wild area. He's about 6 months old, my little Moshi, and it's brought up a lot for me today. So I thought that what I would do is tonight take a minute to speak a little bit about my art that's right here on the right, which is the Death Gate portal. It's a Death Gate, it's the Death Gate portal, and just touch a little bit on what inspired this art, a few little spontaneous teachings that might want to come through. And then at a later point, I'll come back and go into a deeper dive around the Death Gate because it's such a huge conversation in so many different aspects. I feel would probably be valuable to look at a little bit closer. We won't be getting into all of that tonight. We're just going to touch into the art a little bit and some storytelling and see what wants to come through for a moment together. So thank you for arriving. And let's see here. I'm just personally take a little look here. Right, okay, I just wanted to look with my eyeballs that way. So in 2013, I was in Portland, Oregon, really with the family of the One Door Land community. And at that time, we were having very powerful gatherings, and my mother, who's a visionary artist and an oracle, was receiving all of these downloads around the Crow women. And in my community up in Portland, we were having also like this kind of epiphany around the Crow women. And so I have spent all these years attempting to get my crows on the paper. And the first few rounds I was attempting to get those crows in there for those Crow women, I kept bringing the doves, which are the original clan mothers. So in 2017, I was in Mount Shasta, and one of our beautiful brothers, Josiah Okoya, left his mortal coil. And during that gateway, we had a little doggy friend, Sunny, who also transitioned over right there at that same portal point. And I had a direct connection with Josiah from the other side. And he showed me this image of the crow with holding a sun, the sun disk. And I was like, oh, it's time for me to do those crows. Okay. The crows are the messengers into the spirit realm and back. The Crow women, what was coming through with this, the Crow women? Who are the Crow women? This crow medicine that goes to make great mystery and back, and it's the messenger of that spirit prayer backwards and forwards, right? Who are the Crow women? I guess before I explain the Crow women, I need to go to the place where around that same time I was receiving these transmissions of the planetary body, the personal human body in color frequencies, and looking at it as a ring. So right in the very center, which above me, right in the very center, is the black obsidian. So in the center of the earth, or the center of my own space, is the black obsidian, which is actually a portal in and out, and then surrounded by the ruby red of the mother blood, the deep blood mysteries, that place of birth and death and that creation station space, right? Surrounded by the emerald green, which is the divine masculine consciousness. And I've found that when there's a lot of disharmonic frequencies that I'm having to deal with, I can bring in the color spectrum of the emerald green through that field of awareness, and it helps bring in a profound coherency and helps clear things out, which is working with the color allows me spiritually to not have to get into the nitty-gritty of those libraries of consciousness that really impact the hormonal system and the nervous system, and it's just too much. There's too much work to do these days to go into every single situation. So I've been finding that working with the color spectrum, vibrational frequencies, through my imagination, through my interdimensional experience, really has been helpful for me. So then on the outside of the emerald green is the gold for God, the gold with then the rainbow aura. So that would be how I was seeing the mapping of our earth, the mapping of our body. The crow women sit right at the space between the ruby red of the mother blood and the black obsidian of the portal, in and out of this dimension, in and out of this creation space. So the crow women are the ones when we sit into our deep, wisdom lodge each month and do our deeper initiations, and then we initiate into powerful crone women that hold their power and are true full oracles and understand deeply what it means to be born and to die and to be with life at each transitional gateway from a fully embodied heart wisdom intelligence to help our loved ones fully embody into our deepest emotional intelligence and truly become the true humans. The wisdom knowledge of the divine feminine, ancient tongue and eye and ear and heart that sits right there at the gate of life and death through her body. And again, the woman is sacred because she carries the womb of creation. But we all have the right brain and body dreaming principle of the feminine she that embodies within the body, that the emotional intelligence that, ties into our planetary cosmic web of knowing. So, 2017. Josiah Akoya, actually, it's not really so present, but I thought of it earlier, so I'll bring it in here. Again, this is around 2013, but I had done some body work on Josiah, and this very large interdimensional fish came in and was asking for support for the portal points on the ocean floor that were very significant for the planetary vibrational shifts that are taking place, and that there was so much going on in the ocean that was not supporting her health, and that the guardians of the ocean that would normally take care of those points were having a very hard time. So we're asking for help, for all hands on deck, even if that's not your sector in consciousness where you normally work, but you're a planetary worker, you're one who works with sacred sites, you work with those to help this shift take place that's occurring on the planet. They're calling for assistance and help, and that really deeply touched me and moved me and has never left me. So the beauty of bringing that in right now is just, again, the sacred waters, the ruby red. So this death gate. So Josiah from the other side showed me the crows, and I was like, oh, I guess it's time to get those crow women. And so I was literally in the death gate portal with him and the little dog that left his little mortal coil. And so the rainbows in the center, our rainbow bridge, traveling the rainbow bridge, is not just our holy portal of our body and the color spectrum of each of our consciousness domains of our tree, our holy tree. It's also the rainbow is the Christos of the unified field of the one love. And in future videos, I'll talk a little bit about unicorns, the Christ, the Christ. I'm not going to go into the stories right now, but the Christos is that consciousness field is truly a rainbow field of consciousness. And our great central sun, carrying the children's eternal peace flame, is the bringer of the diamond rainbow crystal sun. The diamond rainbow crystal sun. The unified field of the one love of all life and all knowing as we fully arrive in our holy tree. Okay, so I'm going to keep this short tonight, but I was also earlier thinking about the different cultures that meditate on death as part of their spiritual practice, and that how we live in preparation for how we die helps a deeper arrival of presence in our awakening. And I know these things I'm saying in this moment when we have so much going on that is not this in the outer world. We have a World War III going on consciousness right now. So, at first I felt a little bit like, wow, this is all going on. What do I do with these other, conversations? And I'm like, you know what? I feel we need to hear more than ever as a root, as a sacred root, and to, if this passes by, just to a deep meditation on what it means to fully arrive. And right now, death is in our cultural conversation. And how are we, and our soul, the soul embodiment, and what does it mean to be having an experimental gene therapy, that similar type of that's a little technology that gets inserted to the cell. What does that do with the body's ability to be with the soul? How does that impact the electromagnetic operating system of our body elemental that allows our heart bliss to bring our soul fully here? What does it mean when right now we're being asked to inject something that's going to radically somehow shift every cell in our body with hardware? To me, it's looking like, from what they're finding in the tests to the injections to all these things, this is like the beginning of the transhumanism agenda to indoctrinate human biology into the AI technology without the mainstream putting in your face, because they're not. But when you go and look on the actual sites of what things are, and then you do that deeper dive research, you're going to go, oh, wow. What's that doing to our ability to be embodied with our soul, our wisdom way? And then, we want to be able to think about, oh yes, how do we die consciously? Oh, the Tibetans, the rainbow body. How do we, those who have cultivated to the point they know when they're going to let go of their mortal coil, and they do it in total consciousness. And when they release, they know where they're going, because they've already been fully prepared for that moment of transition through how they were arriving in their daily meditation, their daily prayer, and their daily walk of who they are as a human being, fully rooted in our planetary earth, body, cosmic. And how do we navigate with mastery these vessels that we fully arrive and live in, and when it's time to transition, can consciously transition? What's transitioning? The soul. The soul's coming in and it's going out. So what does it mean if our biological organic tree of life, electromagnetically, with our DNA that connects to our we might only have had cut down to the 2-strand connected, but we have 12 strands going on still in our body. We have plasma from the sun coming, bringing more protein, its ability to connect in our little neural network to our multidimensional awareness in our biology, our beautiful, functioning, dynamically intelligent, elemental sanctuary matrix. What does it mean when we have an outside injection of something that is non-organic, that is a consciousness of the AI, that has that thinks it's like really cool to like merge with the human, which they do tell us what they're doing, but you have to go find it because there's so much smoke screen and reversal code and gaslighting politics happening and gender confusion, and to get us super confused, get us off topic here. Now, I did not know I was going here tonight. This was not my plan, but here I am. I did not plan to jump onto this road. All right, so let me just take another breath. We need to remember our soul and our elemental earth biology and the technology of the body, and be guardian. We've got, like, seeing as I brought it up, so this whole RNA, this situation with the animal studies that are of similar nature, all those creatures received it, and then when they got the wild virus, it took them all out. So I really want to honor our body intelligence, and like we need to really bring a different level of guardianship. And then how do we prepare for our own death? How do we prepare for our own full arrival in our own life as we prepare that we die in a good way? And I just want to say, because it did pop up for me today, and I know Sasha Stone just did a whole thing on the different medications and plant medicines and all that, and their vibrational frequency based on 1 to 1,000 in terms of consciousness spectral frequencies, and morphine is at a 50. I have to tell you, it was the beginning of 2016. I was actually up in Canada. I took the Rainbow Sun Flame up there, and I had this full seeing of the astral realms and how many of our loved ones have died where they've been given morphine, and I saw it was an absolute crime on humanity. And everything I've heard, it doesn't take the pain away. It just takes you into the realm it takes you into, excuse me. But I feel it's really important that we need to like get into deeper, once we get through this little wacky crisis moment we're in on a planetary level, we need to like really be looking at not only how we are coming in, but how we're going out, and protection of what it means to die consciously the best you can. And the astral field between, how we've supported or not supported unknowingly those gateways, we also have a lot of cleanup to do, because so many people have been taken out in so many reversal code horrific ways. So the death gate's an area that deserves actually quite a bit of love and care and review. But right now I know we got our hands full. So I'll come back at another time, and I'll sort of root down a little deeper, and maybe hold a little bit stronger, just earth-based love support around proper human support of the transition and how we hold that gate. Like my little buddy Kitty, my little boy Kitty, I'm going to wrap it with this. This will be where I'll complete today. My words are all over the place. Sorry about that. I'm really have been going through it the last 3-4 weeks. A lot of this fascist narrative, intentional setup of separation has been just coming at me from all my loved ones without me even trying. It's been coming at me, and there's a lot of let go. There's a lot of release, and as I went down there, I was like, where am I going with that? It's a pretty big field. Death gate. At another point, I will come in and help support some deeper dive conversations around the death gate. And I don't know where it's going, but that's okay. All right, my family. So I hope this had some value for you. I really didn't know I was going to jump into that conversation part of it at the end there. But here I am, and I'm showing up, and whatever comes through, comes through. And I hold a prayer for you. Oh, my kitty. Oh, that's where I was going. That's it. Okay, it took me a minute. There we go. So my kitty, so I've been really going through it the last 3 weeks, and I really felt like I didn't really have enough support to help myself resource so I could maintain my coherency. And the last 3 days, I really hit my pain body pretty strong at a certain point for 3 days in a row. And for me, my pain body isn't just 1 to 10 somewhere. It's just 10. And it's always, I gotta leave. Because it's the only place in that space my consciousness can figure out where the relief might be, and that would be leave my body. And so I spent 3 days having that type of trigger, and then on the 3rd day, again, Bodhisattva vow, like, what am I doing? And, I mean, maybe I didn't hold it all day, but like 3 days in a row, and my little boy didn't come home, and I'm his guardian. And I know the planetary ring aspect, I'm consciously working, and at a certain level of one's own consciousness work, those levels impact people and creatures in a very profoundly different way than when we're just dealing with our own, personal work, or just our own living room of our own house with our own other person. You know what I mean? We're working just the smaller rings. There's a certain level when we're working our larger collective global rings inside ourselves. The impact of my choices really reflects in the outer world, knowingly and unknowingly. And so I had to really process that today. And then I had to get through that quickly, because if my baby boy left his body, I want to hold that good prayer for him in this transitional portal. And we don't die. We just leave our body behind, which is really sad for the other bodies that just had that loved one that they love so much just leave their mortal coil that's going to now do something different, and we're not going to be able to feel them and look how cute their faces and kiss them and all those things. So it's really sad for the body to have the soul leave another loved one's body, really sad. So anyway, I just really needed to be conscious to hold my consciousness properly in respect for the fact that he's probably returned back home. And wow, I got to tell him I loved him every day I had him. And he got to tell me he loved me too. It was the cutest darn thing ever. And so, I want to make sure I'm arriving at the gateways. The death gateway is really important. That release, that's up close in my world. That's a big medicine gate. So I want to, make sure I feel what I got to feel, take responsibility for where, wow, I'm probably not allowed to, I got to figure out a way to resource not to go to those spaces anymore. Seriously, I have a deeper seat I need to take right now. And forgive myself, and out of respect of his beingness, arrive for him and arrive in myself, and I got to feel him tonight, he was in me almost. I was like, hi, Moshi. So anyway, I hope this has of some value somewhere for you, and I send you so much love. And if you would like to look at all my art and some of my mom's, you can go to beautywaythunder.com. I have a shop there, and you can go check out different items with the art on it, and also read about the Rainbow Sunflame. And I will look forward to speaking with you and being together again sometime real soon. Okay? So thank you so much. Have a wonderful next everything. Okay, blessings.